Ambassador, do you believe anything that the Russian President Vladimir Putin says right now?
Well, it's pretty tough, Wolf, given the fact that we've been told that the troops will be pulled back from the border. Now this is, I count, also the third time. And in previous times, that hasn't been borne out. So obviously, we'd welcome such a move. But as the reporter, as Jim said, we haven't seen evidence of that so far.
So far, you have seen no evidence. And the estimate, the NATO estimate, is what, 30 or 40, 50,000 troops along the border with Ukraine? What is the number, as far as you know?
That's right. It was tens of thousands. 40,000 was an estimate that we had made previously. Tens of thousands amassed on the border. They've also announced air exercises timed for the next 5 days, starting May 21st, which obviously also coincides with the election. So both the troops massed on the border and these new exercises, neither one of them is a positive contribution. They both continue to be a menace aimed at intimidating. And our focus, in contrast, is really on these elections this Sunday, which are a real opportunity for Ukrainians to come together, to choose a new president, to turn the page on the Yanukovych era.
Well, do you believe there can be free and fair elections in Ukraine with these Russian military activities going on right nearby?
I do, Wolf. The technical preparations have been going forward for the last few months. As you know, the OSCE's had a number of observers on the ground for a couple months now. There will be 900 more joining this week, short-term observers, so there will be 1,000 observers on the ground from the OSCE, as well as a number of other organizations. All of them have reported that technical preparations for these elections are proceeding as planned. Obviously, there are some localized pockets, particularly in the east, where violence is disrupting. But it's important to remember we're talking about 2 out of 24 oblasts and Crimea, where Russian actions are undermining the right to vote of some Ukrainians. But in the vast majority of the country, the technical preparations are on track, and there should be a free and fair vote this weekend. I think in addition to the technical preparations, it's important to not forget the emotional preparation. And one of the things, CNN did a poll last week. There's been a lot of focus on the divisions between Moscow and Europe that were reflected in that poll. But to me, the most important number in that poll was 82. And that was 82% of Ukrainians who are optimistic about the future. That tells me that the emotional preparation for this election on Sunday is well in hand, and that people are ready to come together and build a stronger Ukraine.
There will be, as you point out, hundreds, if not a few thousand, international observers coming in to monitor these elections, including a lot of Americans who will be part of the OSCE delegation and other groups that will be going over there. Here's the question. How safe are they in some of these more disputed areas of Ukraine? Because some pretty high-profile Americans are going over there.
Well, obviously, security remains a concern of all the folks from the international community who are registered. And I think I saw something today that there are close to 3,000 international observers who have signed up to come for various organizations. And we'll be obviously looking to make sure that people are staying safe as they conduct this very, very important work. As you mentioned, there are a number of high-profile folks, former ambassadors. There are some members of Congress who will be part of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly delegation that is observing these elections. And you know what people are going to see is to see how these are carried out, to see the technical process, the vote counting and tallying, and to witness the Ukrainian people exercising their right to vote this Sunday.
What about you, Ambassador, as the U.S. ambassador to the OSCE? Are you going to be in Ukraine for these elections?
Unfortunately, I'd love to be there. I'm sending a couple members of my team. I'm going to stick here in Vienna and watch from afar, and I will certainly be cheering the Ukrainian people on first and foremost. This is a really momentous occasion. It reminds us of the fact that this was, though it's been painted as something of a contest in geopolitics, this is first and foremost about the Ukrainian people. They are sick and tired of corrupt governments. They are sick and tired of not being able to trust their government, of not having a firm economic footing. And this is their moment to start making a new Ukraine together, and I will be cheering them on every step of the way.